Welcome, this is Budget Commander. We are doing a box opening of March of the Machine Draft Booster, and we're going to go over some of the cards we really like to pull for this set. I will start. One of the cards is going to be the new Sword of Once and Future. It is for a 3-drop. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from blue and black. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, surveil 2, then you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 2 or less from your grave without paying its mana cost. It's spell you put into your grave, exile it instead. So, what do we think about the new sword? Sounds like it's going to be a little bit overpowered.
I like the
surveil.
I like the surveil on it.
Especially the fact that you get to cast something from it.
Yeah.
So
it said like 2 or less, right?
Imagine putting that in a spell slinger deck.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially because it's got mostly the biggest protection. The next card is Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. It's a 3-drop legendary artifact. Pay 2, tap it. Target opponent mills 3 cards. Put a land card from their grave onto the battlefield, tapped under their control. It gains if this land would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. And then it's got pay 10, sacrifice Realm Breaker, the Invasion Tree. Search your library for any number of Predator cards, put them into the battlefield, then shuffle. That's a little overpowered, just because
especially with all the Predator cards coming out recently.
Yep.
Would be 15 total.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's a lot.
I mean, Luke, you have
that's a lot of mana though, because that's like 10 mana.
But the first ability can help with it.
Yeah.
The next one is one of the ones I wanted, was the Rethink Dawn. When he enters the battlefield, return. He is 2 white mana and 2 ours, 4/4. Whenever he enters the battlefield, return target enchantment that isn't a god from your grave to your hand. That'd be something good for one of your decks, like if you need an enchantment thing.
Yeah.
Return.
Oh.
It also has Phyrexian mana for blue, so you pay 2 life or blue, and 3 hours and transform them.
I can go my tax deck.
His transform is you basically play flash. You get to play spells as flash, so without Kanori, and then the spells cost 1 less for each
time someone draws.
That turn.
So if someone's drawn, you're casting
that's
spells
gonna be
free, basically.
The next one is the Jinx from the new one. It has Ward 2, and it's also a 2 blue, 3 R's, and a 5/5. It is one of the Predators, so.
Yeah, you could search that with your.
So whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana 3 or greater, draw a card. And then you pay a blue and 3 R's, exile it, then return it onto the battlefield under its control, only as sorcery, and only if you have 7 or more cards in hand. So that refers to the old Jinx.
The
drawing 7 cards. Its enchantment one's ability is you would draw up to 7 more cards in your hand. That's what it was. And then the second, because it's a saga, it will go through each step as you go. So the second one is you return all non-Phyrexian creatures on the battlefield to the owner's hand. The last one, you cast anything in your hand that turn. And then it transforms back over.
God. Alright, so.
Wow.
Imagine playing that with the Invasion Tree. So you get all of your Predators out, your Phyrexians, and then you activate
if you just get the new 5, they're all going to pop off to the point where there's no coming back.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's insane.
But that is, I think that's why it says that when you cast non-creature spell, you're going to draw cards, because you're going to have to refill that hand up quick. But the amount of value you're getting just from drawing...
That's good enough. I mean,
You play
insane.
Jace, you win. The next one is the Vorinclex. From the set. When it enters the battlefield, it's still the same mana, and it's 6/6. Yeah. Same mana as Arjan. So, trample reach, field, search your library for up to 2 forest cards, reveal them, put them in your hand, then shuffle. Pay 2 green and 6. Exile 4 clicks. Return to the battlefield. Transformed under the owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. It does not have a certain rule. So its enchantment ability is.
And then you put
And
two.
you put 2
creatures.
from among the mill cards into the battle. Yeah, 2 from among mill creatures. Mill display. Second one is it puts 7 plus 1. It distributes 7 plus 1 counters up to each.
Up to creatures you can.
Creatures. So you would put 7. So you put up to at least 1 counter each with 7 creatures. Second one is it can pay mana and you would fight a creature you don't control, which is very broken because of Vorinclex being already overpowered with counters.
Yep.
Imagine putting all 7 counters on a Esper Sentinel. You gotta pay 8 to.
And then the last one, the last one for my pick is the new Atali, Primal Conqueror. It is 2 red and 5 iris for a 7. It's a 7/7 Elder Dinosaur. Trample. When this enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. And then it's got the Phyrexian symbol for green, so you pay 2 life for it instead of paying green, and 9 iris, and it transforms. Now, the transformation is it's an 11/11, trample, indestructible, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, they put that many poison counters on that player.
So it's a Blightsteel.
Yep.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean,
That's scary.
The fact that you have to pay 10 mana plus 7.
It doesn't.
So that's
it being a Blightsteel is a plus. It coming on the battlefield.
Doing the Atali, and it's no longer attack trigger.
Yeah.
It's just
all you have to do is blink it, and it's insane.
have Elish Norn out with it, or have any of these like Elish Norn, Propaganda,
God.
any of those ones that
coming
say
in twice.
any ones that say enter twice. So yeah, those are the cards that I would be really glad to get. I'm gonna let William take it over and see, so you can see what cards he would want.
Sure. So my first one is I'm gonna do a mono red deck. It's gonna be Ortheon, Hero of Lavabrink. It's a 4-drop, a 3/3. Its first ability is you pay 2, you tap it, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, sack it at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. And then the next ability is you pay 9, you tap it, create 5 tokens instead. It's the same thing.
And when you pay the 9, it has to be 3 red.
It has to be 3 red.
3 red and 6 others.
Mm-hmm.
Just so if everyone.
So with this mono red deck, I'll be making enter the battlefield triggers nonstop. So like, it comes in the battlefield, does 3 damage to target opponent. So I copy it. I do 5 tokens. That's 15 damage 1 turn to any target.
The downside is I think you can't target himself due to another
you can't.
creature, but you'd have to find a way around.
But I'm not target.
So if anything, if someone would want to build a deck out of this, the best way to go is probably for mono red.
Yeah.
Maybe also just in case, make sure you have a what's it? Probably like mirror box or something. Somewhere like, because I'm thinking like you could do like Krinko.
God, oh
you could do ear Krinko, and then you just gain
so much,
so much out of that because you gain.
I mean,
you get 5 tokens, right?
Yeah.
So
it goes up to 10, and then oh god, yeah. That's
so right
insane.
there, if you just tap down 1 Krinko, you're making 5 more goblins. You make 10 more.
I'm putting
20 more.
Yeah.
You're making a whole bunch more with just the mob boss.
Yep.
So yeah, it's pretty broken though.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also thinking like Meteor Golem when it comes in, destroy target creature.
Oh yeah, you do.
So I do 5 of them. I just blow everything up.
Wow.
So what's the next one?
It's not a legendary creature, but it's Fairy Mastermind. So it's a 2/1, 2-drop, flying flash. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw a card, and then you pay 4, 1 blue,
Each player draws a card.
Each player
so
draws
you
a
draw
card.
2 cards just off of that activated ability.
Yeah.
Wait, it says when an opponent. So you'd actually draw
I draw a
1,
lot,
2,
yeah.
3. What 1, 2, 3, 4 cards just off of one ability.
I'd have to activate twice on your turn. Because but it's overpowered.
Well, what I'm saying is like but if you activate it still for 8 mana, it's 4 cards, and that's right there.
Yeah. The next one is Surok and Goreclaw. It's a 6-drop. You pay 2 green with it. Legendary creature, human bear. It has trample. Other creatures you control have trample. Whenever a non-token creature enters battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it. It gains haste until end of turn. So every time you cast non-token, it comes in with haste and it has a 1/1 counter on it.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
And everything has trample.
Wow.
I can see a lot of play with that because the fact that it gives trample to everything, and it has trample, so even the other creature thing doesn't.
It's a
really
6/5.
It costs 2 green and 4 hours, so that's pretty.
It's good. My next one is Hoarding Broodlord. It's 5 colorless and 3 black. It has Convoke, which is just right there is amazing.
So if anyone doesn't know what Convoke is, you tap your creatures and they'll pay for the colors, or if it's a creature of the color, it will actually pay for the color.
It's a 7/6 flying. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a card, exile it face down, then shuffle. As long as that card remains exiled, I can play it. Spells you cast from exile have Convoke.
That is.
So you can search up anything huge and then Convoke with it.
I think the thing is though, that's going to have a lot of play in now. Do you remember the Forgotten Realm deck? The that Halfling where it was you played from exile?
Yeah.
That's going to have a lot of play with it because you Convoke those exile cards and then you're getting treasures and you're not wasting mana.
Huh.
My next one is Drana in Linvilla. It's a vampire angel legendary creature. You pay for 1 colorless, 2 white, and a black. It's a 3/4 flying vigilance. Activate abilities of creatures your opponents control can't be activated. And then it has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend mana as though they were mana of any color to activate those abilities.
Wow.
So it shuts down your opponent's deck and it gains those advantages.
That's pretty scary because like you could just there's some of those big ones where like you just pay that mana to do stuff.
So imagine you have your Atali out. You can't with her out, you can't transform Atali. That's insane.
Yeah, the enter battlefield trigger would still work because it's not
it
triggers.
would,
but still it's broken. That sets down half of a deck, and the fact that you gain that stuff, you can't. Even though you can't transform it, but still the fact that you would gain it, that's pretty sick.
It's great. I mean, I can't even think of any. I haven't seen too many cards as good as that.
No, like they did the separate ones, and this just went overboard with it. So, all right, we're gonna go to Dominic now.
Alrighty.
So
now the first one that I chose is Sword of Once and Future.
You don't have to go over it. We've already went over that one. But why did you choose that one? Just out of curiosity, why would you want to choose it?
Well, even though it has protection from blue and black, if someone were to play a mono blue or a mono black deck, I'd be able to use this.
Yeah, but
I like the one to where you can actually cast like an instant or a sorcery with a mana value of 2 or less from your graveyard. That one I think is a little overpowered because there are certain ones that actually give you a lot of advantage.
Yeah, well, it would be more overpowered though, I think, if it wasn't for its states. It gets exiled.
Yeah, but you get to cast stuff twice.
Yeah, but that's like that's like the one where everyone thinks has flashback in your deck.
Mm-hmm.
So
Chop a red and 2 generic.
Sorcery.
I can choose 1. Into the Fire deals 2 damage to each creature, planeswalker, and battle.
Which is this?
That was a new mechanic that they just brought out. I don't know if it's actually new, but
I haven't seen it before.
I don't
It's
know,
siege.
so what it
Anybody
is
deal damage to
you
it.
would no. So what it does when you cast it has a mana cost. When you cast it, you target an opponent.
Yeah, they
That
protect
opponent
it.
has to protect it. Well, they don't have to, but everyone can swing at it instead of like it's like a planeswalker pretty much. But if it flips over, but whenever it's dealt enough damage to where it will be destroyed, it flips over back to the owner's control of whatever the transformation is.
You can exile it without it. It won't flip if you exile it.
If you remove it by any means, it won't flip. But if you have to deal the damage.
Yeah, the next one is put any number of cards from your hand onto the bottom of your library, then draw that many cards +1.
That's good.
So
the fact that it's in red, like I'm thinking like Nim Mizzet, because think about it, like you have 10 cards in hand, and you're not milling.
Even though you're putting them on the bottom, you could easily get cards that could easily help you win the game and or allow you to.
The fact that it says it's not requiring you to put your whole hand in.
It just says any number of cards. So
you can search. So you're kind of like searching in a way for what you want and don't want.
So technically, you could put like 1 on the bottom and then draw 2.
Yep. Because it says +1. That's pretty broken, I would say, because like mostly because of that reason.
Anyway, the third one that I chose is Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree.
Same one as Loop.
Which we've went over, so... But still, that's pretty... I mean, I can see that with your deck, maybe, because of the land.
The next one that I chose is Hoarding Broodlord.
That I went over.
Which was one that...
And...
we went over most of this, so we don't have to explain the card, but... So you kind of want this for the search mechanic, I'm guessing?
Yeah, and plus, even though it is flying, it is a 7/6, so it could basically help if you give it enough +1/+1 counters.
I mean,
it could.
But you don't really need that. You're more just relying on the fact that if you play something from exile now, it's allowing you to cast from exile. You're convoking off of that.
Yep.
And just imagine.
That's why I said
7/6 for only 3 mana.
They've made a lot of commanders now that are in red and black and stuff that work with convoke so well, and other colors that work with convoke to have black in it. So this card's gonna be really like you could go get your game ender card with this card, and no one can deal with it because they can't get rid of it ahead of time. Where like if you go demonic tutor, you're searching for it, but it goes to your hand. Any of the other tutors, they go to your hand. So it's kind of making it
insane.
The only thing is, I think...
And another thing, it's in exile. So people can't be like, discard your entire hand.
You can't stop it. You have to pick and choose. You have to destroy the dragon. And then I think that's the only issue I'm going to ever have with that card. Is if you're going to play this in a way, I would recommend playing it in a deck that can get...
It's not legendary, so imagine making
You could make copies of this and then enter a battlefield and get everything you need. Like, the thing is, though, like, what's those ones that they do? Like, what's it? Karn Liberated?
Yeah.
Karn Liberated, this would not slow this down. Well, it would slow it down a little, but you know for a fact if someone's getting out Karn and they can't deal with it, and he's about to ult, you would play this, go get the answer you need to get you back in the game immediately, and then when you get the mana, you just cast it. Or the creatures.
Yeah.
Alright. And the last one that I chose is Tributes to the World Tree. It's a 3-drop for 3 forests. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card for its if its power is 3 or greater.
Otherwise, put 2+1 counters on it.
Yep.
That's a little broken because, drawing and...
If I get that and put it in my token deck,
oh,
everything just gets 3+1 counters when it comes in.
2.
Just 2?
Two, unless it goes by 3. If it's 3 or more, you would draw.
If it's
Yeah,
3 or more,
okay.
you can draw an extra card to see what it is.
It's not a you can
It's still
draw.
a lot.
But it is enchantment that's for 3 mana. That's still not that bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is I think all the cards. So if there was anything else that we were thinking of, because like I said, the Predators are cool. I think when the set came out, like the Predators are gonna be something, especially with that one.
The
Realm Breaker.
invasion. Yeah.
It's gonna make it. I think that's gonna be like the biggest ones, obviously, because like Jin's a board wipe.
I mean, it might be 10 mana, but it's still.
Well, Jin's like a game ender. You know what I mean? Like Jin's a game ender. Vornix is a game ender. Elish Norn, I think, is one of the game. I think she has some really good abilities.
Yep.
You can. Oh my god. So
there's some broken ones.
Elish Norn's a predator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine get the Elish Norn with the enter battlefield triggers.
Let
so
me
you get
see.
her
Yeah.
in first, then the rest of them with enter battlefield triggers. They activate twice. Oh.
The only one they wouldn't activate on is Jin, I think, because he's not an enter. He's a. But like Vorn clicks you get 4 forest instead. That's a lot of mana right there.
It is.
And then, but yeah, that is what we're hoping to get. So yeah, this is gonna be an exciting set, I think. And if I recommend, I would recommend probably getting one.
Yeah, definitely. It would upgrade your decks, whichever one you have. Doesn't matter.
There's a lot of these new like things that you see, and the fact that they finally made the complete collection now of all the swords, let alone that they've been wanting to do for who knows ever since the swords started getting made. So, but yeah, and most of these cards, when we looked at the price,
it wasn't too bad.
They weren't that bad. So really, it's a reasonable price to pay for, because even if you don't want to go buy the set, just go buy the singles.
The big one was
Predators.
All right. Make sure to like and subscribe.